Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Grab that heaviest coat. It's another very cold start this morning, but I'll show you the pattern change that'll bring us highs in the 60s tomorrow.
DMV hours reduced. Why the department, facing criticism over customer service, is opening an hour later in the morning starting today.
Super Bowl champions. The Seattle Seahawks raised the Lombardi Trophy after dominating the New England Patriots. The most talked about moments from the big game, including that halftime show. Good morning, everybody. It is 6 o'clock, and Mondays can be challenging, but even more so when it's the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday. Hope you enjoyed watching it on WRAL, and we're here to get your work week started. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Lovingood. Hopefully you had fun at your Super Bowl parties, but yes, reality sets in. You must return to work today. We do have Elizabeth Gardner to get you started as you're headed out the door for your morning commute. It's a cold one, though, folks.
It really is. I mean, that'll wake you up if nothing else does. Our temperatures are in the teens in many places. Other than that, it's nice and quiet out. Our skies are mainly clear. We should have a nice, pretty sunrise that happens here in just a bit. It is 16 in the Triangle. No wind chill, so we don't have to worry about that, but it's awfully cold out there. Our temperature 12 in Roxborough. It's 11 in South Hill. A little bit of a wind chill in Fayetteville at 17, but other than that, it's 17 in Goldsboro. It's 22 in Southern Pines, and we will stay pretty chilly today. Temperatures climb above freezing by 11 a.m., and we'll see highs in the mid-40s this afternoon. I'll show you a powerful high-pressure system that's going to help to bring us warmer temperatures. I'll show you how long that will stick around. Coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. A quiet start to your morning commute as we take a live look at I-40 and Jones Sausage Road. I-40 coming in from Garner-Johnston County, flowing nicely in both directions, as a matter of fact. As we widen out the view, though, give you a live look at other routes coming into the Raleigh-Wake County area, coming in from Apex and US 1. Maybe you're coming south on US 1, Capitol Boulevard, if you will, from Wake Forest, all delay-free. Similarly, if you're coming in from Nightdale and I-87, you don't have anything to worry about. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Police in Raleigh are looking for a man they accuse of stabbing his girlfriend late last night. The stabbing happened on Tedrow Terrace near Garner Road. Police say the man was stabbed in the stomach. She was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. We are working to learn more about the victim and what led to the stabbing. Starting today, the DMV's doors won't be opening early anymore. Federal funding for extended morning hours has run out. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live over at the DMV office on Avent Ferry Road in Raleigh. And Kelsey, the DMV is looking to find other ways to shorten those long wait times.
Yes, Renee, this morning, 90 DMV offices across our state will change their early morning hours, including this location here on Avent Ferry Road in Raleigh. You can see that there are a couple of folks outside waiting in these cold temperatures to see if they can get in. Officials say the exhaustion of federal funds is what's causing this change. These offices will now open at 8 a.m. instead of 7 a.m. They were open earlier to offer additional customer service time and help address higher demand. And here's another change to tell you about. Now you can only make an appointment up to 7 days in advance. You are no longer allowed to book a time slot up to 90 days ahead of time. That's all designed to help the DMV direct customers to offices that could have more capacity in a given week. Now, just to remind you here, walk-ins are still allowed, so that may be why a couple of folks here are waiting outside right now. I did just check the DMV website. There are no appointments available in Raleigh, Durham, or Chapel Hill. But there is some good news here. New appointments will be available every weekday at midnight, except for holidays. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Over a week after the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, her children say they will pay their mother's abductor to get her back. In a ransom note that has not yet been verified by authorities, there is a demand for $6 million in Bitcoin by today. In return, Guthrie would be released. Savannah Guthrie and her siblings posted another video to Instagram begging for their mother's safe return. Investigators were back at Nancy's house yesterday afternoon, and they say they still do not have a suspect or person of interest in this case.
Looking ahead, the Austin Thompson sentencing hearing will resume tomorrow. This hearing will determine if the Raleigh mass shooter will ever be eligible for parole. Thompson killed 5 people and hurt 2 others in Raleigh's Hedingham neighborhood when he was 15 years old. Among the victims was Thompson's brother. His confession note mentioned that he killed his brother because he was going to get in the way. On Friday, after days of emotional testimony, prosecutors focused on Thompson's internet search history. Prosecutors say there were clear parallels to other mass shooters. WRAL will be there when court resumes tomorrow, streaming every second of the proceedings on our YouTube page.
Today, state lawmakers are expected to grill Charlotte leaders about their efforts to keep their city safe. State lawmakers invited them to the Capitol after that fatal stabbing of Irina Zarutska on a city commuter train in August. Charlotte Mayor Vi Lyles and Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden are among the leaders scheduled to speak. That legislative hearing is at 9 a.m. WRAL state government reporter Paul Spay says lawmakers have already been working on safety measures ahead of today's hearing.
Lawmakers for months now have been trying to figure out how they can prevent stabbings like the one in Charlotte in August from happening again. Now, this committee has taken a hard line looking at officials across the state, interviewing them about their policies. I expect to see more of that this Monday.
Our NC Capitol team is covering the hearing. You can check WRAL.com for updates. A driver is facing charges after a crash near Garner killed a person. That happened early Saturday morning on I-40 East near Jones Sausage Road. Troopers say a Lexus drove off the right side of the road and then crashed into a box truck that was parked on the shoulder. A passenger in the car died. The driver was taken to Wake Med, and the truck driver went to the hospital with minor injuries. Troopers say that speed and alcohol were factors in this crash.
A child is safe after falling into a pond. This happened yesterday at Laurel Hills Community Center in Raleigh. Fire officials say the father rescued the child from the pond, and both of them were able to get out of the cold water. This comes days after a Carey family's dog died after falling into an icy pond, and a week after a man and boy were rescued from another Carey pond that was covered in ice. The Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl champions after a dominating defensive performance in Super Bowl 60. The Seahawks defense smothered New England Patriots quarterback Drake May all game long. They sacked May 6 times, one shy of a Super Bowl record. Seahawks running back Kenneth Walker III was named the game's MVP. He ran for 135 yards, the most any player has had in a Super Bowl in nearly 30 years. The Seahawks ended up winning the game 29-13. It is the second time that the Seahawks have won the Super Bowl.
And I'm Laura Levine here in the WRAL Live Center this morning, taking a live look here over the skyline in Seattle. You can see the Space Needle all lit up blue for the Seattle Seahawks. But this is what I really want to show you. Thousands of fans rushing the streets in Seattle to celebrate that huge victory. You can see people leaving bars, heading to some of those neighborhoods there. Celebrations included chants, fireworks, and even cars spinning donuts in intersections. The victory was the team's second Super Bowl title and came in a rematch of the team's 2015 loss. As Seattle's more formal celebrations are expected to continue on Wednesday when the Seahawks celebrate their victory with a ceremony at Lumen Field and, of course, a parade that will follow.
Laura, thanks. Coming up in the next 15 minutes, we'll take a look at the highlights from Bad Bunny's halftime show and how people are reacting.
And part of an exclusive interview between NBC News' Tom Yamas and President Trump aired during the Super Bowl. The president was asked what he thought about former Patriots coach and current UNC football coach Bill Belichick being snubbed by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
I thought it was terrible. I mean, he's won so much, won so many Super Bowls, great coach. Became a little bit controversial, I guess, after that. His little period after that. During it, he was just a great coach. But what difference does that make? No, he should be in there right at the top.
It's reported that Belichick was puzzled and disappointed by the outcome, although he has yet to make a comment. The Pro Football Hall of Fame is now expected to change its voting procedure, including reducing the voting committee size, changing the makeup to include more non-media members, and making the votes public.
The ACC fined UNC $50,000 for the court storming that happened after Saturday night's Battle of the Blues. The league says the team violated its event security policy. Duke University says a staff member got punched in the face during the storming, and that person was treated and is now recovering. UNC Athletic Director Bubba Cunningham apologized to Duke after the game. UNC says it reviewed video from the incident and found that it followed all its policies. They consider the matter closed. 6:09 now, Team USA on the board. Let's give you a live look from Milan, where the U.S. has already won 2 gold medals in the Winter Olympic Games. Jay Gray will join us for a live report on the big storylines from over the weekend and what to watch for today.
And if you're thinking about training for the Olympics, or just maybe getting in some exercise this morning, it is cold out there, but just hold on. We have some much warmer temperatures in our forecast. I'll show you when.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13. It's a quiet start out there this morning. The biggest story is the cold temperatures. It does stick around. We're looking at teens this morning for most of us heading out the door. This is a live look at Sanford. We take a look at some of the temperatures. It's 16 in Raleigh and in Durham, 15 in Roanoke Rapids and in Wilson. And it does feel like a long stretch of cold, wintry weather, doesn't it? That all changes tonight and into the day tomorrow. But of course, this morning you want to bundle the kids up with those temperatures in the teens. At lunchtime, 37 if they're heading out on the playground. Obviously, they'll need their winter coats. And then this afternoon, only 45. I'll show you how far that is from normal and how much above normal will end up being by tomorrow. And why, Ken?
Elizabeth, weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Knowing my little ones, they will be hanging out on the playground, bundled up, of course. Hey, let's take a live look at I-440 and Ridge Road. Boy, it's really low traffic volume, even though it's a little after 6 o'clock in the morning. And widen out the view, you can see from I-87, 440, all the way over to Wade Avenue, nothing but delay-free at this hour. And similarly, that's what we're seeing on all of our major routes. I-40 eastbound, you're coming in I-87 from Knightdale, delay-free at this hour. Of course, you're heading into the Cartoonist Center on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thank you. Here's something to make you smile. The Buddhist monks are just one day away from completing their Walk for Peace. Their 2,300-mile journey will come to an end this week in Washington, D.C. Today, they will walk from Alexandria, Virginia to Marymount University in Arlington. They'll begin their final walk to the National Mall on Wednesday, and they will give their last remarks at a peace gathering at the Lincoln Memorial. After 110 days of walking across America, including through North Carolina, they will return to Texas, where they are based. 5 on your side has a recall you need to know about. BMW is recalling nearly 90,000 vehicles due to fire risk. They say the engine starters may overheat and catch fire. The recall includes 9 different models, ranging from model years 2021 to 2024. This follows the October recall by BMW of 145,000 vehicles, also over a starter defect. BMW says dealerships will replace the engine starter at no cost. Today, lawmakers returning to Washington with just days to find a funding solution for Homeland Security. The deadline is Friday. Democrats' list of requirements for a bill to fund DHS and reform ICE include requiring agents to wear body cameras and to remove face masks, among other conditions. Certain Republican lawmakers have shown openness to some of those demands. Missing Friday's deadline would not cause a full government shutdown. Looking ahead, an Ohio man will face a judge this week after he was charged with threatening to kill Vice President J.D. Vance. A federal grand jury indicted Shannon Mather on Friday. According to the indictment, Mather said last month he was going to find Vance and use an M14 automatic gun to kill him. He made this comment a day before the vice president was in Toledo to speak at an event discussing the administration's economic agenda. Mather faces a maximum of 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. He remains in jail and has a detention hearing on Wednesday.
Well, Team USA begins its medal run in Milan with 2 golds, but the celebration for the Americans was tempered a bit by the early end to the comeback bid of skiing superstar Lindsey Vonn. 9 days after rupturing her ACL, Vonn crashed just out of the gate on her finals run, breaking her leg. NBC's Jay Gray joins us this morning from Milan with the very latest from the games. And Jay, real mixed emotions for Team USA on day 2 of the games.
Yeah, good morning. Really is a tough go. You know, a violent crash for Lindsey Vonn, who said her goal was to get back to the Olympics. She accomplished that goal. She made it to the starting gate, but was not on the course very long. She's said to be resting and in good hands. She has had surgery for a broken leg. We're talking about an Olympic champion here, someone who is one of the best to ever do it for Team USA skiing, and likely ending her career on the mountain that actually brought her back. She loves this course, and Katina says it's her favorite.
Oh my goodness, no!
The unthinkable in Cortina. Lindsey Vohn's comeback ending in just a matter of seconds. Her pole catching a gate and throwing her to the ground, her leg broken. A chopper pulling her from the mountainside, the crowd watching in stunned silence.
We're devastated, but we love her. We're so proud of her for being here.
The crash coming just after.
Breezy Johnson takes over the lead in emphatic fashion.
Breezy Johnson's lightning fast run bringing home Team USA's first medal of these games, the gold.
It was so many different emotions, and today it was enough and so much work. So I'm happy that it paid off.
A dramatic finish on the ice gives the American figure skaters the gold. U.S. superstar Ilya Malinin edging out Japan's Shun Sato, giving Team USA a 1-point win and the first ever back-to-back golds in the team competition.
Highest rating of any player, including...
And 2 must-wins for Team USA curling advances the mixed doubles squad to the semifinals later today. The first American team to make it to the knockout round since the event made its Olympic debut in 2018. Jay Gray, NBC News, Milan.
Dan, back live in Milan. Look, 2 things to look forward to today among many that the Team USA will be participating in. But watch this women's hockey team. They are on fire, 2-0, and they take on Switzerland today. And then the dynamic duo of Madison Chock as well as Evan Bates. They headline the first day of ice dancing, and they have been dominant in the sport, 3-time reigning world champions. They certainly expect to make the medal stand here. So should be a lot to watch. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm greedy. Give us all the medals. Team USA needs a lot more now that we're on the medal, now that we've won a few medals here.
Not say no to more medals for Team USA. All right,
Yeah.
thanks, Jay. All right.
Absolutely.
He has such a fun job. You have a fun job, although maybe not the most fun to tell people, hi, you're waking up and it's super cold outside.
Hey, but fun to tell everybody they're going to love the day tomorrow.
Hey, there you
there's
go.
that. That's what we live for sure. We take a live look outside right now. It's clear. We're going to see a beautiful sunrise across the area. Our temperature, though, is 16 degrees. Fortunately, no wind, so we don't have to worry about the wind chill for this morning, but it is cold enough, that's for sure. What's going to happen right now? Currently, high pressure is feeding cold air into our region from the north, but a high pressure system will start to pull up some of the warm air from the south, and that's what will be with us for tomorrow. Now, you might have heard that there's the potential for a little wintry weather over the weekend. The last 24 hours of runs of the computer models are not showing that, so we'll keep our eye out for it, but it definitely looks like we could see some showers. There's a small chance on Wednesday, and then potentially Saturday night, so we'll be watching the timeline for some rain, but at the moment, it doesn't look like we're going to see any wintry precipitation. Here's a look at Wednesday. We're going to see a front sagging southward and then a better chance of rain closer to the coast, but we could see a little bit of rain for us on Wednesday. It won't be a whole lot. This is a look at Wednesday. You can see that front sinking southward, and then a wave rides along it and helps to bring us a chance of some showers. That's first thing in the morning on Wednesday. That's 7-8 a.m. And then it all sort of slides southward, and you can see it doesn't look like we're going to see a whole lot of rain right here across the bulk of our viewing area, but we'll keep our eye on it in case that changes. Right now, we're going to give it about a 30% chance for Wednesday. Then the weekend weather maker looks like, at least right now, it has a lot more precipitation. It may grab a lot of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and lift it northward across our area. Right now, it looks like all the coldest air is well to our north. So we're watching the timeline. Is this going to be sort of a Saturday afternoon into early Sunday event? Or what is the timing going to be on this? We'll be watching that very closely. Looking at a high of around 50 both Saturday and Sunday, both days very close to normal. But, it's Valentine's weekend. Nobody wants it to rain as they're trying to take their sweetheart out, but that could be a thing. We need the rain. A drought monitor all across the state is showing a lot of severe drought, especially right here. So nice and warm for us tomorrow. We're going to see that high 64 and then 60 on Wednesday. My pick of the day of the week to get outside in terms of days is tomorrow. It looks fantastic.
I'll join you on that.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Hey, a really quiet start to your morning commute as we look live at I-40 and Jones Sausage Road right now. These are the westbound lanes coming toward us into Raleigh this morning as we look at other sections of I-40 right now, completely delay-free. That southern loop of the Beltline, of course, if you're using I-40 through Wade Avenue, delay-free at this hour. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Your time is 6:22 this morning. Dean Dome debate. The conversation over the future of the beloved but aging UNC basketball sports venue.
And coming up on Today, Chanel and Craig will catch up with three-time Olympic gold medalist Shaun White in Milan on all things Winter Olympics.
Well, as we know, Carolina Smith Center was rocking Saturday night, but the future of the 40-year-old venue is at the center of a debate that is splitting some fans and the administration there. So some want to keep the Smith Center at its current location on campus and renovate the building, keeping the history and the tradition of that site alive. But then you have some that are eyeing the proposed Carolina North campus for a completely new build. That could bring in more money and more modern amenities. Tar Heels are choosing sides in this. The decision was expected by the end of 2025, but that timeline has been delayed by strong opposition to a move. Chancellor Lee Roberts said, quote, "There's no perfect solution to the arena dilemma." And for more on the Dean Dome debate, you can see our latest reporting on WRAL.com.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
A movie based on cyclist Lance Armstrong is off to the races.
And a star-studded Super Bowl 60 halftime show drawing praise and backlash. We have Ken Smith to talk about that this morning on What's Trending.
Yeah, let's start with the big game, right? Puerto Rican rapper Bad Bunny taking the stage for the halftime show. His performance included cameos from Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin. It also featured an actual wedding and Bad Bunny giving one of his Grammys he won recently to a child watching him on TV.
Very creative. There were also surprise celebrity appearances from Pedro Pascal, Cardi B, Jessica Alba. Bad Bunny made history as the first musician to deliver a Super Bowl halftime show entirely in Spanish. And definitely his music just kind of made you want to dance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he did say
no
you don't have to learn Spanish, just know how to move.
It's a fun time.
Yeah. All right. So Lance Armstrong's life story getting the big screen treatment. Austin Butler will star as the former professional cyclist in an unnamed biopic. Armstrong won the Tour de France 7 times after he survived testicular cancer.
And of course, you may recall in 2012, Armstrong was stripped of the titles that he won, and he admitted taking performance-enhancing drugs. But I'm sure that'll be a part of the drama in this biopic.
He was such a superhero and quite the fall from grace. Yeah. Ken, thank you. DMV hours reduced. Why the department, facing criticism over customer service, is opening an hour later in the morning starting today.
And at the bus stop, all the layers. Our temperatures are in the teens, and it won't be that much warmer this afternoon. We'll still be seeing highs below normal, but that all changes tomorrow. I'll show you when the pattern begins to shift coming up.